The Bills are playing the Chiefs. Both talked about we both have the Bills in our Super Bowl predictions before the playoffs started. Who do you have in this one? You're going to stick with your Bills pick here?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my Bills pick here, regardless of the situation with Mahomes, because he's in still that concussion protocol. And regardless of that situation, I still think he plays. Mahomes is going to do everything in his power to make sure that his rear end's on that field and playing in this game. So whatever the situation is, I'm still taking Buffalo. But this team needs to establish a running game against a defense where they're not the best against the run. You have to establish that in this game. I think they get Zach Moss back. I think they do. They're trying their best to make that happen. I think he's on track. Singletary actually looked promising in the second half against Baltimore. So if you can get him involved consistently in this game, will be absolutely huge. And that might seal the deal for Buffalo. If they can establish a running game consistently, that might give them the win because their defense, I like their defense a lot. And I think they could give Mahomes some problems throughout the game.
I really like Buffalo too. I picked them going before the playoffs started, like you did as well. You look at the games they've won. I believe I think it's like 11 out of 12 or something like that, or 10 of 11. They've won those games, and that one game they lost was the Hail Mary against the Arizona Cardinals. Hail Marys don't happen. I mean, I don't even know the odds of one of those plays happening. I mean, really, they should have those, whatever it was, 12 straight wins, 11 straight wins. They're the most complete team in the AFC right now. I really don't think that's close. I know that sounds crazy because the Chiefs are the defending champs during the AFC Championship game. But like I mentioned earlier, the Chiefs are playing too many close games. I posted a video a couple of weeks ago. I forgot what the stat was, but I did the Hot Take Tuesday episode. I do like hot takes on Tuesday occasionally. I said the Chiefs won't be in the Super Bowl, and it was something crazy. I believe it was like the last 8 games of the regular season, might have been 6. The Bills were outscoring teams 37-22, while the Chiefs were only outscoring teams by 3 points a game. Perfect example. Go back to the Chiefs game when they played the Dolphins. They had to use their final possession to win. It was just a kneel down, but they won by 1 possession. The Bills put up over 50 points against the Dolphins. They took Allen out in the third quarter, and Matt Barkley was even scoring against the Miami defense. You look at the teams they played against each other, they're completely different. The Bills are playing amazing football right now. They were able to stop the run, even when, Jackson was in the game, which, even though we talked about Jackson, it's still very difficult to stop the run, the Baltimore run. And, we talked about the Chiefs barely able, getting by against Cleveland. I have the Bills in this one.
Yep, and I think their defense definitely from their meeting in the regular season. You saw rookie Clyde Edwards have a little bit of a field day against that defense. I think Buffalo's defense shapes up, and they know what to expect from that offense. So I think we definitely see a different result than this one.
Yeah, it'll be a great game. And, speaking of the NFC Championship game, cannot wait for this one. Everybody talks about Breeze and Brady. Brady and Rodgers in this one. You can make a case Rodgers is better than Breeze. I don't think that's out of the hand. You can also make a case that Rodgers is better than Brady, and that might be a little bold, but you look at talent-wise, I think it's a lot more comparable. Brady has so many Super Bowls. I know Rodgers only has 1, but what Rodgers has done throughout his career with far less weapons, not nearly as good of a head coach. I mean, he had Mike McCarthy the majority of his career with Green Bay. I mean, Brady had Belichick. I mean, it's just really, really excited for this one. I think Tampa Bay, though, I think part of the reason I did so well was because they knew Drew Brees' tendencies. They knew he was going to throw a 5-yard slant to Michael Thomas. And like you mentioned, Thomas did not even have a catch in that game. I mean, playing them twice, it's really beneficial at times to play divisional teams in the playoffs because you've already seen them and you've already played them twice. And I think, they knew what the New Orleans Saints game plan was going in that game. I think that had part of why they were doing so good in that game. But you look at Green Bay, like we talked about, over 30 points against the Rams defense. The Rams defense is the best defense in the NFL. Rodgers is the MVP. If Devontae Adams was over 60 yards, I believe 9 catches or something like that and a touchdown against Ramsey, he's going to have at least 100 this game. And to me, I would say the Packers in this one. I would say by 2 possessions. I think the Bills and Ravens game will be the close one of the two. I think that one could be 1 possession for the Bills win. But this one, I think it'll be probably about a 10-point victory for the Packers. And I know obviously with the coronavirus, you're not allowed to have full capacity in NFL stadiums. But with this being in being in Green Bay, the limit of the fans, that's going to be really, really beneficial to Green Bay. So I'll take the Packers in this one over the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier when you're talking about the little debate that you can have between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, when you look at overall talent, who's better? It's definitely Aaron Rodgers. I would take him every single day of the week. But the reason why, and you definitely know this too, Jordan, why Brady's the GOAT is compared with the championships. That's what it comes down to. When you look at the best quarterback, everyone's going to say it's Brady because the fact that he has 6 Super Bowl rings. That's why. And now when you look at overall, imagine if let's just say Rodgers had 4. Brady had 6, Rodgers had 4. I think, to be honest with you, you make that case that Rodgers is better. Even regarding if it's that close to each other, Rodgers is definitely the better quarterback because of overall talent, overall skill level. That's why. But that, like I said, that's why Brady's the GOAT, because of his championships. He'll always have that over just about anybody. But now, in this game, you're going to have to score around 30 points, maybe in the late 20s, like 28, 30, maybe a little bit more than that. Depends what Green Bay's offense does. But I think you're going to have to, on the road, you're going to have to score 30-plus points because of the fact this offense is absolutely lethal. And it seems like they just can't be stopped. As soon as Rodgers gets that connection immediately with Adams throughout a game, I mean, it's hard to adjust as a defense. It really is. And Green Bay's offensive line is stepping the heck up. You want to talk about something that's not getting a lot of credit for, I think, is your offensive line missing how do you say his last name? David Bakhtiari?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, that's their best O-line. That's their best guy in the O-line. And he's out for the year. And they're stepping up, creating holes for Aaron Jones. Dylan, the rookie, stepping up. Jamal, who is it? Is it Jamal Williams, his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that 3 guys in their backfield as well. So they have plenty of options on that offense. And I think their defense as well has been playing well of late. And that's something that doesn't get credit for as well. I think it will be a close game too, but I could see Green Bay by a touchdown.